Good morning, guys. I'm WUSA Season 3, Episode 109. And man, how did I get here already? It is Tuesday morning, and I did not play over the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, did not get to play anything. Spent time with the family, did all that stuff, did work at the house, and yeah, it was a pretty laid-back weekend. Graduations, baptisms, all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah, so it's interesting. In a couple episodes will be a major milestone for this podcast, and I expect it to be about $30,000. Well, maybe less than that. I expect it to be further down the road than where I am, but that Vegas trip slowed me down quite a bit. Lost a week, basically. Not only did I lose a week, but I lost money. So, unfortunately, but what are you going to do? We're going to put it behind us. We're going to move forward. I did some work on the house, some painting, cleaning, got rid of the rest of what we had for a chicken coop area. Just did a lot of work on the house. I also used a torch to burn some weeds. I don't know who's familiar with that. You basically connect a propane tank to a torch, and then you use that to kill weeds. Basically, you just need to wilt the weeds a little bit by exposing them to heat, and then they will die. So I have a large area that I needed to take care of behind the house, and I did that. And so I did get a lot of things done that I'm behind on. One thing I didn't finish is working on my charts for blackjack, so I definitely will try to finish that tonight. I got to right before I had my big losses in Vegas, and I was just busy doing other things. So I'll get all that input tonight and let you guys know about that tomorrow, hopefully. Right now, like I said, Tuesday morning, I'm heading off for the day. It's a work day. I'm also supposed to meet with an intern today and teach her some of the things that we do. So I'll get to put that on my calendar as soon as I get in the office, and hopefully she accepts for today, because otherwise I'll have to stay back later in the week, and I'm not doing that. So it's going to have to be sometime today. So this morning I'm heading off to a casino first, early in the morning, 59 degrees, and then I'll head to the office, get caught up on stuff, and then be bored, and then wait for a break in my day so I can go back to the casino and play some more. I actually haven't even looked at my calendar for today. Let me see, calendar. Not too bad. Only 2 meetings today, so I'll definitely have an opportunity to get out and play. And then I'll come back and report to you. I'm also out of gas, so before I get to my first stop, I'll have to get some gas, and we'll see how things go. Looks like a nice day today, pretty clear skies, and I'll be back to update you soon. I'm just thinking back to that poker night I had, and it was interesting thinking back how ethnic that night was. You had a Chinese lady whose mother's house she was using, and the mother had made tons of food, and every 2 minutes, you want to eat, offering you all kinds of food. And I just don't know the people very well, so I don't know what their food is like, or how clean people are, or anything like that. So but she kept coming around, and then she eventually changed into like her bathrobe with a zip up thing, I'm talking about, in the front, and was coming around asking you if you wanted food. And there was a little bit of Chinese spoken at the table, but I don't think any of it was malicious in any way, or trying to take advantage in any way. but it was interesting to see how these people reacted. They're just getting this poker night off the ground, so they really don't know what they're doing, and I can't see how they could have made a profit if there was only probably 3 of us at the table that they were trying to take money from, and I made money, and at least one of the other guys was ahead when I left. So probably a good learning lesson for them, but in the long run they'll make tons of money. These home games just rake in the dough, and by 3 or 4 in the morning everyone's looking around wondering where the chips are, because everybody bought in for $200 and everyone has $40 left in front of them, and all the chips are in the drop box or in the bucket, as it is in most cases. Lots of times you hear the money falling in the bucket and you're reminded of the rake over and over again. So what a lot of these guys would do would be to put some paper towels at the bottom of the bucket, so when they dropped the chips you wouldn't hear them fall, and they could sometimes even double cut, before and after the flop, and make even more money. So, but anyway, just thinking back to that, I thought it was kind of like a comedy of errors, a lot of the things that happened there, and the things that were said and all that. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. So I go into this place and it doesn't look like anyone's been there, but there's not much going on. I do find a couple small plays and play those through. Walking around, just chilling, no big deal, not in a big hurry to get to work or anything. And I end up leaving ahead $99. That's all good, that's fine. I was only in there about 30 minutes. And I go to the kiosk and put my voucher in, and I get all $1s and $5 bills. So that's pretty annoying. So I ended up going to the cashier and changing that up for some bigger bills. And then I took off, but pretty quiet in there, not much happening. I did have one slot attendant come up to me and tell me that he played at this other casino, and he normally just plays real slots, the ones with the actual reels, and spins it at $5 a spin, and that he lost $500 on there. I don't know why he was telling me that, but maybe because he sees me in there, but we never really talk. So anyway, I am heading off to work right now. I should get there pretty early, probably before everyone else gets there still, and by the time they get there I should be bored. So we'll see what happens. Part of life. I gotta work for now. So letting you go right now, heading off to work, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. It is a few hours later. Went to the office, took care of all my business, got caught up on emails and messages and all that kind of stuff, and started investigations and did all these things. And then I went through all my tasks that I had to do, as far as getting back to people on things that happened over the weekend, and I did that. And then there is a new intern in our office, and she needed to learn about what we do, so I asked her to come sit with me for a while. We sat down for about half an hour. I went through what I do throughout the day, allegedly, and just all the different things that I do, and she asked some questions about it, so that was all good. So I'm done with that task. So what's left today was one more meeting with my manager, but because I got back to everyone really early, I got another meeting assigned, so we could go over my answers to some of the questions people had. So that will be early, like 1 o'clock, and the meeting with my manager at 2 o'clock. So I'm heading back to the casino now. I have an engineering meeting that's supposed to last an hour. I will do that on the way to the casino. Then I will take another lap through the casino, and I will eat and then head back to the office, and then have my one meeting, sit at my desk for half an hour, have my other meeting, and then probably leave for the week. So all is good, doing fine, and heading back to the casino, and I'm about to hop on that engineering meeting as well, so I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I'm starting to see a lot of warehouse looking places popping up all across the countryside, and I believe most of them are Amazon. And I'm seeing some of these walls are just so thick. They're like 5 feet thick for some of these places. Anyway, yeah, I'm starting to see them everywhere I go now. All these new huge warehouses, offices are going away, and it's all about online and staying home and not being around people. And that reminds me, I'm going to try to look up Demolition Man tonight and watch that. It's been a while, but it talks about this is the way the future is going to be. Everybody's scared of everybody else and about getting sick and all that stuff, and nothing is done in person anymore. Anyway, with that tangent, I go into this place and it's still pretty quiet in there, but I see, actually the first play that I saw was on the same machine that was the first machine I played last time I was here, and in the last few hours someone else had gotten it ready and I hit it again at the same level, same bet amount, everything. So that was nice. That put me up a little bit, like 20-30 bucks, and then walked around, found other small plays, nothing huge, just tiny plays. I also got my free food for the week, which is always nice, and got some bags of chips to take with me. Ate my food there. I actually had my meeting was still on my ear as I walked in, finished up the meeting, played, got my free food, and left ahead $105. So how can you beat that? Just getting paid to be at the office and then actually making more by playing a couple slots during lunch and getting a free lunch and chips to take with me for the week. So at this point it's 73 degrees, it's afternoon. I'm heading back to the office for my meetings, and I don't see much more happening today. I may have one more session tonight, I'm not really sure, but not really much else. Tomorrow is the last day of school for the kids. That's going to be interesting for the wife. I did buy them, however, I did buy them a pass to a local amusement park slash water park. So they should be spending some time there. I stopped buying it a long time ago, but my new employer will pay for half the membership amount. So I got the nice membership, and that would be close to $1,000 if I were to pay for it. So hopefully they go there, because it's not far from home, and I hope they actually do it, because one year they went once or twice, and that's when I stopped buying it. But that should keep them busy somewhat over the summer, along with sports and everything. I don't know exactly how things are going to go down this summer, but hopefully can make some money and get back on track again. And I've just been feeling down the last couple months, even though I've been doing all right. Just feeling like I'm missing out on stuff and not getting my full EV out of everything. So anyway, right now I'm letting you go, heading back to the office, gonna start my meetings, and then I'll be back to update you later. Alright guys, I am back, finished up all my meetings, still early in the day. I want to go back and try to hit the casino one more time, see if we can make any kind of a big hit today. So far it's been just scraps, but scraps add up, and we'll see what happens here. Just planned everything perfectly today, made me look good, just everything worked out just great at work. So on the way back to the office this past time here, I stopped by the dollar store. We call it Dollar Tree in my area, and everything's $1 or $1.25 there. And I loaded up on stuff I need for the house, like just the candy, personal care stuff, everything I get. I try to get cheap like that. What else did I get? I don't know. Oh, there's these. You remember when you were a kid your mom having those little cookie tins. They're like butter cookies, Dutch cookies, or something like that. They have these at the dollar store, and you get this tin with it. So you get like a whole thing of cookies for $1, but then you get a tin that you can put chips in or coins or whatever you want. And I use them to store a lot of stuff in my safe, so I got one of those as well. But anyway, all right, heading back to the casino. Gonna see what we can do here. So far, it's been about as boring a day as it could be, but hopefully something big happens now. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So I go into this place, and right away I see an iffy play, but leaning more on the good side. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put that on hold, and I'm going to put something else up on the screen so no one sees it for now. I'm going to run around and see what else is going on. I made another play and lost about 20 bucks on it. And then I thought, before I go on, I'm going to go back to that other one, and I'm just going to play it through. So at this point, I had $200 in the machines, and I played through. I was at like 180 at this point, and played that through, and that took me from being down 20 to being ahead $281. So I'm loving that. Played one other machine, won a little bit on that, and that was really it. But interestingly enough, guess who I saw in there? The Chinese lady that invited me to see, I was saying Asian before, but now I know she's Chinese. So the Chinese lady that invited me over to the poker game, and she's like, "You're coming by Saturday, right?" I'm like, "No, I don't think so. You know, I'd like to play, but it's just not enough EV for me. You know, it's not worth it. Even though the game is a soft game, and even though I'm not a great player, I know I can beat that game. It's still not worth it for me on a Saturday night. I'd rather be at home." So, but I might tell somebody about it. I'm going to think about it. So, anyway, she did ask me, "Hey, when's the next time you're going to the casino?" I said, "Interestingly enough, I'm going tomorrow. How about that? You asked me right on a day that I might go to a casino." So, she said, "Well, just text me and I might go with you." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see." So, tomorrow, if I'm acting a little suspicious during my recordings, that's because she's with me, but I doubt it. I doubt she would go. Anyway, walked around in there, also saw another lady that I might know that might be family, and I didn't say anything to her. It's just someone that I don't see very often, maybe every year or two, so I didn't want to bother with that. And then, "Hey, what are you doing here?" "I don't know, what are you doing here?" You know, stuff like that. So I'm just going to let that go. And I ended up leaving that place ahead $334. So that's not bad. That brings me up to about $539 maybe for the day, something like that off the top of my head there. So that's better than I made at work, and that's what the goal is all the time: make more than I'm going to make at work for the day. So all that is good. And then I kind of rushed out of there. I was there for about 35 minutes, and I had plenty of time to get home. But then I remembered yesterday I bid on, I had these auctions I was trying to bid on, and I collect all kind of coins and you know, anything interesting historically. And there were these stock certificates from the 1830s and the 1860s, and I wanted to bid on them, and just like the last two auctions, I missed it by like 2 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with me. I even set an alert for myself, and I was watching it, and I just missed it by a few minutes. And they ended up, 13 of them ended up going for $1. What a shame. Oh my God. I would have loved to have those. I do have some old canceled checks from the 1800s and early 1900s. Those are really cool. And while I was on the auction site, I've actually been looking at some real estate on this site too, and I'm thinking about buying this house, but still up in the air. Still have about a couple weeks before the auction. I noticed a house with some household goods that was up for auction, and I thought, you know, I might be interested in some of this stuff. And one of my girls and I were sitting there looking at it, and we found some interesting things, and we bid on a few things and let a few things go. And we ended up winning one thing, which knowing that I'm only going to win that, I probably would not have bid because it's a long way to drive to pick it up. But we won a couple of those, those big containers, the coolers for like Gatorade. You put Gatorade in there, you push the button, Gatorade comes out. You know which ones I'm talking about. They dump them on the coach. I won a couple of those for $1. So I'm going to go pick those up, but it's about an hour from here. It's close to home, so it's not like I'm driving a full hour out of the way. Oh Lord. Okay, so, oh my God, are you kidding me? Got this girl that sends me plays. She just sent me a big play. It's an hour the other way for me. Oh, it's such a good play. At $4 a spin, it's probably a couple $100 in EV. What do? I don't know what to do. I can call someone in her area that I know. That's about all I can do. Let me, I'll do that. I'll be back and update you. All right, guys. I'm back. So when I was in that last spot, I get a call from this lady, and she's like, I'm like, what are you saying? And she says it again. I know you don't want it in your ear again, but I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. She said, this machine, and I need you, please save me. I've been here 6 hours, 10 hours, and I need you to save me. I'm like, what is it? And she goes, you know, the one with the thing and the other thing, I just need you to save me. Can you come right now? I'm like, no. I'm like, right now, I'm like an hour and a half away from there, and I'm about to drive an hour further away from there, and it puts me over 2 hours away from you, so I can't. And she says, if I send you a picture and it's a good enough play, will you come? I said, yes, if it's a good enough play, of course I'll come. So she sends me a picture of this play, and I'm like, damn it, that's a good enough play. So I didn't know what to do, and I really don't want to drive all that way. I mean, you'll make a couple $100 probably on it, and I didn't know what to do. So I call a friend of mine. He lives about 45 minutes from there, and he didn't answer. So I call another friend of mine, and as I was calling him, the other one started calling me back. So I pick up the phone, talk to the other one. He's willing to go, but he's still pretty far away. And then the other one calls me back and says that he's not allowed to go there. He had some issues there, and he's not allowed to be there. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll fall back on the first one again then. I would have rather had the second one because he knew a little bit more about it, and he didn't need, any coaching. But I'm not making any money on this anyway. I just want someone that I know to make money on this, But anyway, so not that I don't want the first guy to have it. He's a great guy. But I'm going to have to, I thought I would have to explain to him, more about it. And he's like, no, if you think it's a good play, I'm there. So I'm like, okay, so here's what you got to do. Go to this casino. He types it in his map. He's like 45 minutes away, and he has to stop and do something, so it'll take him an hour to get there. He's like, how much do I need? I said, he could probably hit it with a couple hundred, but bring 1,000 just in case. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. So he's on his way. And the story is that her brother was playing that machine and put about $600 or $800 in the machine, which you never do on this machine. She knows better than to let him get in early on this machine, because advantage machines, if you get in on them early, you're getting like terrible return to player. I mean, disgustingly bad return to player. So she doesn't want his spouse to know about that he lost all this money in this machine. So she's like, you got to save us. We already took money out of the ATM. Can't take any more out without anybody knowing. So I said, okay. So she's like, well, how much will your friend take as a cut? I said, well, you should probably get less than half, but I'll try to work it out where I can get you half and half the profit. And she's like, oh, you're a lifesaver. I said, I know. So he's on his way. I told him as soon as he gets done with whatever he's doing to go ahead and give me a call, and then I'll explain the details to him and who to talk to and all that. and then she wants me to call her 5 minutes before he gets there so she can be looking for him. And she's sitting there at the machine for the next hour, where she's been sitting for other hours, I guess. I have no clue. So here we go. You know, I used to have a lot of people in Vegas sending me deals, good plays, and eventually I didn't have anyone to send them to because everyone starts getting spoiled on making money, and they're like, oh, I'm not going there for 80 bucks, you know, or whatever. So finally I just told the guy, you know, just don't call me anymore. I'll let you know when I'm in Vegas and you can send me deals, but otherwise don't call me. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So I got a guy on the way and a lady waiting, and we'll see what happens, and I'll come back and update you and tell you how it goes. I expect that he'll probably make 200 to 300 on the play possibly, and they'll split that. There's a couple other things that could happen on the run up, other jackpots that can be hit on the way. So depending on where those are, you know, he could make more, she could make more. So that's what's going on right now. Letting you go. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I actually ended up getting 3 of those water cooler things, and I'm heading back home right now. I did hook my friend up with my other friend, and they were able to get the play done. They made about $320 on the deal. Not bad. Probably took 1 or 2 minutes to play it, and that's how it's done. So if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. But if you get in too early, you're going to lose everything you have. So that's all I have to say about that. Right now I'm heading toward home, and I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight, get up real early in the morning, and we're going to have a nice long trip tomorrow and hopefully make some decent money. Yeah, I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, but it's just beautiful today. It's 73 degrees outside. Just a really nice day. And although we didn't really have a chance to make a lot of money today, we were able to hook up our 2 friends together. They made some money, and we'll have another chance tomorrow to make more. So that's it for right now. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.